Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well. We're going to play some more Pine Tar Baseball, another elimination game in our best of 7. Red Sox and Reds played an elimination game yesterday. It's up on the channel. It's a very good game. I won't spoil it in case you'd like to watch. But this, we have the 65 Dodgers in the Bronx taking on the 1976 Yankees. Yankees lead the series 3-1. They send Kenny Holtzman to the mound to finish off the 65 Dodgers. The Dodgers will send Double D, Don Drysdale, ironically the best hitter, as he has been DHing in New York. And he will pitch in this game to try to send it back to La La Land 3-2. The Dodgers have foregone the designated hitter. Drysdale will bat for himself in the cleanup spot. So let's get to the starting lineups and roll some Pine Tar Baseball. The Dodgers must win to stay in. For the visiting 1965 Dodgers, Maury Wills would lead things off and play short. Jimmy Lefevre plays second and bats second. Gilliam is out in left field batting third. Don Drysdale is the cleanup hitter and will do the pitching. Ron Fairley's out in right. He'll bat fifth. Lou B. Johnson's in center field batting sixth. LeJohn is at third base. He gets his first start of the series batting seventh. At first base batting eighth is Wes Parker. And Johnny Roseboro once again does the catching and will bat ninth. Don Drysdale is the pitcher. Drysdale 0-1 in this series. Drysdale, max innings pitched is 8, but again, if things fall right, he can go the distance. No automatic strikeouts or walks for Don Drysdale. For the New York Yankees, it'll be Mickey Rivers to lead things off. He's in center field. Willie Randolph is at second and will bat second. Greg Nettles jumps up in the lineup. He'll bat third and play third. The DH, the captain, Thurman Munson, is the cleanup hitter. Chris Chambliss bats fifth and plays first base. Roy White's out in left. He'll bat sixth. Oscar Gamble, the Fro, is in right and bats seventh. Fred Chicken Stanley is at short, batting eighth. And Fran Healy does the catching, batting ninth because of his -14 arm. Kenny Holtzman trying to close the show here for the Yankees and send the Dodgers a pack and back to the West Coast. Holtzman, maximum innings pitched, 7 innings. Again, if things fall right, he could go the distance. And he has no automatic walks or strikeouts. At home, he's a C-grade pitcher. The first 2 times through the order, then gets stronger. He becomes a B. For Drysdale, he starts off as a B-grade pitcher. And then, after the first 2 times through the lineup, he gets stronger and becomes an A. So here we go. The Dodgers must win to stay in. They send Maury Wills to the plate. Wills against the left-handed throwing Holtzman reaches safely 0 through 34. Holtzman's ready to work. Here's the pitch to Maury Wills. Ball game on the way. That is a 2, and that's an 87. 87, left-handed pitcher. Maury Wills card. Wills sends the ball to center. Mickey Rivers makes the catch. 1 out. So Maury Wills is retired. He takes that turn and goes back to the dugout. And here comes Jimmy Lefevre. Boy, they'd like to have Jimmy get hot. He reaches safely against left-handed pitching 0 through 35. Holtzman, he's ready. The pitch to Lefevre. 53, what will it be? We shall see on the 53. 53, ground ball to first. Up with it is Chambliss. Underhand toss to Holtzman. 2 down. Scoring at home 3-1. Slide this way. There we go. So 2 up, 2 down for the Dodgers. That'll bring up the left fielder today, Jim Gilliam. Gilliam against left-handed pitching reaches safely 0 through 37. Beardson 007's at the ballpark along with Roger Ward and Philip Reynolds. Healy sets the target. The pitch from Holtzman to Gilliam. That's a 4, and that's going to be a 70. Ground ball to third. Nettles gobbles it up like a kid with candy, throws a strike to Chambliss, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3, go the Dodger Blue. So the Dodgers held scoreless in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first, due up for the Yankees, Rivers, Randolph, and Nettles to face Double D, Don Drysdale. Drysdale, not only is he the pitcher, he is the cleanup hitter. He's the best hitter for the Dodgers in this series. He has DH'd in New York, so that's a fun thing you can do with Pine Tar. So Drysdale up on the bump, and he'll face Mick the Quick, Rivers left-handed batter. Against right-handed pitching, reaches safely 0 through 32. Roseboro wiggles the fingers. Here's the pitch from Double D, Don Drysdale. 26. A 26 is a single. So Mickey Rivers slaps that fastball to right. Rivers definitely a base-stealing threat. At first, they'll hold him on. So Rivers at first. Stolen base opportunity is an A. Anytime, 4 times per series. That's the rules we changed because it's a best of 7. So Rivers, stolen base chance 85. Roseboro -8. 77% chance Rivers is going to go. Here's the throw from Johnny Roseboro. That's a 17. He slides in safe. So a stolen base for Mick the Quick. He's in scoring position for Willie Randolph. Randolph, sacrifice hit chance is an 89. Will they bunt him over? And that's just what they're going to do. Here's the pitch from Drysdale. He's going to go high and tight. Willie Randolph squares the bunt. 37. He puts it down. So the sack works. A successful sacrifice with a odd roll. The ball is fielded by the first baseman Parker, who throws to the second baseman. On the wheel play, Lefevre. But Rivers advances to third. So a sack. And that goes 3 to 4. 1 out. And that brings up Greg Nettles. Mickey Rivers 90 feet away. As Beardson says he missed the early stream between the Mets and the Cubs. Well, check it out, my friend. I believe you did. I think you left a comment. That's one of your favorite seasons, I believe you said, with the Cubs. All right, so Nettles, 1 out. Rivers at third, trying to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead. Drysdale looking for the strikeout. Nettles digs in the left-hander's batter's box. He reaches safely against right-handed pitching 0 through 38. The violent windup and the pitch from Don Drysdale. That's a 4. That's a 74. Nettles, ground ball to third. Ground ball to third. And that's a 4. No runner on first. Ground ball to third. 1 through 6. Runner holds. And Nettles is retired 5 to 3 on a nice play by LeJohn, getting his first start in the series. So 2 outs. Rivers still at third. And that's where Drysdale and the Dodgers want to keep Mick the Quick. Yankees play a little small ball with Billy Martin, but yet to produce fruit. And here comes the Yankee captain, the designated hitter, Thurman Munson. Munson, against right-handed pitching, reaches safely 0 through 34. Drysdale takes a deep breath. The windup and the pitch to Munson. That's a 6. That's an 11. So we go to a field modifier, on the 11. Let's see who the ball's hit to. And it has to be a positive result to steal the base hit. So most likely it could be 1-0 Yankees. That is a 21. A 21 goes to the right fielder. The right fielder for the Dodgers is Fairley. He's a negative fielder. And that ball will drop in. So it's a single to right. So the Yankee captain comes through in the clutch. Rivers trots in from third, 1-0 1976 Yankees on the RBI single with 2 outs by Thurman Munson. As the Bronx erupts. So Munson, another clutch hit. 1-0 Yankees. If they win, it is all over for the Dodgers. They'll be sent home packing. And here comes Chris Chambliss, Yankee first baseman, 1976 at the walk-off homer in the American League Championship Series in Game 5 to defeat the Royals to propel the Yankees to the World Series. They would be swept by the Big Red Machine, Cincinnati Reds. So here's Chambliss. Against right-handed pitching, reaches safely 0 through 33. Runner at first, 2 outs, 1-0 Yankees. The pitch from Drysdale to Chris Chambliss. That's a 6. That's going to be a 69. A 69 ground ball to third. Up with it is LeJohn. He throws to Wes Parker, and the side is retired. But the Yankees strike first on the 2-out RBI single by the Yankee captain, Thurman Munson. 1-0 as we go to the top of the second. Due up for the Dodgers, Drysdale, Fairley, and Johnson. Again, Don Drysdale pitches, and he is the cleanup hitter. He has been one of the best hitters for the Dodgers in this series. So we foregone, whatever it's called. We chose not to go with a DH as the Dodgers. The Yankees, of course, have their DH, Thurman Munson. So Kenny Holtzman back up on the bump. With a 1-run lead, will now face Drysdale, Fairley, and Lou B. Johnson. Here comes Ron Fairley, left-handed batter, so it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Fairley reaches safely 0 through 28. Healy sets the target, the pitch from Holtzman. That's a 1, so that's going to be a 0-1, and Ron Fairley has just crushed this ball down the short porch in right field as he pulls it, and we have a 1-run home. We have a tie ball game at 1. That's a bippity-boppity boom for Ron Fairley. To the moon, Alice. To the moon. So Ron Fairley uses the short porch to right. Jumps all over that Holtzman curveball as he was looking for a breaking pitch. And it's 1-1. Oh, you know what? My faux pas. That is a Don Drysdale home run. So Don Drysdale, as he's the cleanup hitter, of course, the pitching card is here. Don Drysdale gets his second homer in the series on the bippity-boppity-boom. So Double D goes yard. As he sits back on the curve, sends it over the short right field porch. And that ball is gone. So Don Drysdale, actually center field, if we look at the location, so let's correct ourselves for a third time. Drysdale crushes it to center. To the moon, Alice. Either way, it's a 1-1 ball game. So Don Drysdale picks up his second home run. How much fun is that? He's been the best hitter for the Dodgers. And again, the reason why the card's not here, because I have him over here in the pitching slot. So a Don Drysdale homer off the Holtzman curveball was sent a mile. And it's 1-1. Now comes Ron Fairley. Holtzman tries to regroup. He deals to Fairley. 5, and that's going to be a 56. A 56 left-handed pitcher. 56. Ground ball to Willie Randolph. Over to Chambliss. 1 down. The crowd here in the Bronx still can't believe Don Drysdale's hitting prowess. Yes, pitchers hitting home runs. What the heck? He's the best hitter on the freaking team. You got to put him in the lineup. Again, no DH for the Dodgers. And again, I apologize. I made a mistake. I looked at... Either way, it's a home run. It's a 0-1, except it's a Drysdale homer. All right, 1 out. We're through with that. So 1-1 on the Drysdale homer. And you know what? We've got to hit a 1 here. There we go, 1-1. And that brings up Lou B. Johnson, 1 out, 1-1. Johnson, right-handed batter, reaches safely against left-handed pitching, 0 through 28. Healy wiggles the fingers. The pitch to Lou B. Johnson. Holtzman fires in a 38. 38. Swing and a miss. Beat him with the fastball outside corner. So 2 outs. That's Holtzman's first K. And the Bronx still abuzz by the Drysdale blast. Drysdale, again, the best hitter for the Dodgers in this series. That'll bring up Don LeJohn getting his first start. LeJohn against lefties reaches safely 0 through 31. He either singles or walks. No extra bases for LeJohn. The windup and the pitch to Don LeJohn. And that is a 41 from Kenny Holtzman. 41. Swing and a miss, and the side is retired. So after the home run, a ground out and 2 strikeouts, we go to the bottom of the second, though, and we are knotted at 1. Thanks to the Don Drysdale blast. Double D. Due up for the Yankees, White, Gamble, and Stanley. And back up on the mound, there he is, Don Drysdale. So here comes Roy White. White, a right-handed batter against right-handed pitching, reaches safely 0 through 40. Drysdale, the windup and the pitch. That's a 6. That's a 75. 75. Fly ball to right. Going back a bit, reaching up and making the catch is Fairley. 1 down. So Fairley makes the catch. Roy White is retired. And here comes the Fro, Oscar Gamble. Gamble against right-handed pitching reaches safely 0 through 32. Home runs on 0 through 4. The pitch from Drysdale to the Fro, Oscar Gamble. That's a 5. That's a 93. Gamble shoots the ball to left on the run, reaching out, making the catch is Gilliam. So 2 fly balls, 2 outs, 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the second here in the Bronx. And here comes Fred Chicken Stanley. Stanley's been solid at short and he's come in with some timely hits and some sack bunts. Let's see if Drysdale can retire the Yankees. 1, 2, 3. Fran Healy, the catcher, on deck. Roseboro sets a target. The pitch to Fred Chicken Stanley. 47. 47. Ground ball to first. Parker has it. Waves off Drysdale. Steps on the bag. And the side is retired. 1, 2, 3, go. The Yankees were through 2 in the house that Ruth built, and we're knotted at 1. Remember, the Dodgers must win to stay in. They're down 3-1 in this best-of-7 series. Due up for the Dodgers, Parker, Roseboro in the top of the order, Maury Wills. So Fred Chicken Stanley made the last out. And Ken Holtzman comes back to the mound, thankful that he will not be facing Don Drysdale. Beardson 007 says, back then, Drysdale, Jenkins, Gibson, Ken, Brett were good hitting pitchers. All right, here's Wes Parker. Lefty-lefty matchup. Parker reaches safely 0 through 29. Here's the pitch from Holtzman to Parker. 79 to Wes Parker. 79. Parker swings the stick, sends it to center. Mickey Rivers, camping, makes the catch. 1 out. If only Don Drysdale could play every position for the Dodgers like Bugs Bunny could. Here comes the number 9 batter, Johnny Roseboro. Roseboro, a left-handed batter, lefty-lefty matchup, reaches safely 0 through 19. He's in there because of his -8 arm. Healy sets a target to pitch to his counterpart, Roseboro, and that's going to be a 30. A 30. Strike 3, looking at the curveball. So Holtzman picks up his 3rd K. 2 outs, no one on top of the order for Maury Wills. Wills, 0 for 1. He flew out to center. 1-1 ball game, top of the 3rd. The pitch to Wills. You want to keep him off the base paths. He's a speedster. That's a 5, and that's going to be a 78. 78. Wills swings the bat. Loops one to right. Racing in, making the catch is Gamble. And 1, 2, 3. Go the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the fourth, knotted at 1. Bottom of the third, excuse me, knotted at 1. Due up for the Yankees, Healy, Rivers, and Randolph. Remember, Drysdale will get stronger. He'll go from a B pitcher to an A pitcher, and Holtzman will get stronger also. He'll go from a C pitcher to a B pitcher. So it's Fran Healy. At home, he gets the start. Better arm, minus 14 behind the plate. Healy, right-handed batter against a right-handed throwing Drysdale, reaches safely 0 through 18. Drysdale wants to make quick work of Healy. The pitch homeward bound, that's a 5, and that is a 60. Ground ball to short. Wills fires to Parker. 1 down. Scoring at home 6-3. We go to the top of the order and Mickey Rivers. Rivers singled, stole second, and scored on the 2-out single by Munson. Here's Mick the Quick. Drysdale looking for some revenge. He rocks and deals to Rivers. That's a 2. That's a 57. A 57. Rivers swings the bat. Bounding ball to second. Up with it is Lefevre over to Parker. 2 down. So 2 ground balls, 2 outs. Drysdale looking for another 1-2-3 inning against the Bronx Bombers. That'll bring up Willie Randolph. No official at bat. He had a sacrifice bunt that moved Rivers to third. Roseboro sets the target. The pitch to Willie Randolph. That's a 1. That's a 0-8. And that's going to be a single. So Randolph jumps all over that fastball. Line drive single to center. The inning stays alive with 2 outs. So Randolph 1 for 1 now. And he's a base stealing threat. Randolph at first. 89, so he'll be 81. He's going to go. He's going to go. Roseboro has a -8 arm. Randolph, 89, -8 is an 81. There he goes. Here's the throw by Johnny Roseboro. Not in time, though it was closer than Billy Martin would like. It was a good throw by Roseboro. That's a 78, so Randolph steals a base. Stolen base for Randolph. Second stolen base for the Yankees. 2 outs. He's in scoring position for Greg Nettles. Nettles grounded to third. He's 0 for 1. Drysdale peeks over his shoulder. Now looks in at Roseboro. The pitch to Greg Nettles. Nettles with a 0-4. Nettles sends this ball deep. Deep. Back. In left, looking up, is Gilliam. It is gone. A home run to left. A 2-run shot by Greg Nettles. And just like that, the Yankees take the lead. Nettles' home runs against right-handed pitching, 0 through 5. It was not a derivative 5, so it does not go to a pitcher modification. And that's unfortunate. If you're a Dodger fan, if you're a Yankee fan, you're ecstatic. So 2 ribbies for the man who guards the hot corner for the Yankees, Greg Nettles. And just like that, it is 3-1, 76 Yankees over the 65 Dodgers. And that comes with 2 outs. So once again, the Yankees with clutch hitting. They knock in the runs with 2 outs. Base is empty now, 3-1 Yankees, and here comes Captain Thurman Munson. He's 1 for 1. He knocked in the first Yankee run. The pitch to Munson from Drysdale. Don't dig in, son. That's a 6. That's going to be a 34. Bam! Munson is crushed in the back as Drysdale plunks him. So Munson's hit by a pitch. And there's some words between the Yankee captain and Double D. There's some chirping between the dugouts. Billy Martin didn't like that at all. That'll bring up Chris Chambliss. Chambliss 0 for 1. He grounded to third. Munson takes a slight lead. Drysdale peers over. Munson peers back at him. Now the pitch to Chris Chambliss. 96 to Chris Chambliss. Chambliss sends this ball to left. Coming in and making the catch is Gilliam, and the side is retired. But once again, the Yankees strike with 2 outs, and they take a 3-1 lead as we go to the top of the 4th. Due up for the Dodgers, Lefevre, Gilliam, and that man, Double D, Don Drysdale, who has homered already, but now he's given it 2 back on the 2-run homer by Nettles. And there could be a brouhaha brewing here, as Munson's still chirping out at the Dodgers dugout after being plunked after the Nettles homer. Good old-fashioned baseball. So Kenny Holtzman back up on the perch for the Yankees with a 2-run lead here in the top of the 4th. Here's Jimmy Lefevre. He'll be followed by Gilliam and Drysdale. Lefevre 0 for 1. He grounded out to first. Healy sets the target. The pitch to Jimmy Lefevre. That's a 1. That's going to be a 46 against left-handed pitching. Swing and a miss! Holtzman paints the inside corner for strike 3 on the fastball. And that's a 4th K for Kenny Holtzman. Holtzman looking to close out the Dodgers. So 1 out, no one on for Jim Gilliam. Gilliam, the left fielder, he grounded out to Nettles. He's 0 for 1. Holtzman's ready to work. The pitch to Gilliam, 2, and that's a 22. And a 22 is a defense modification. Yep, there it is. So it's a 22. Let's roll to see where Gilliam hits this ball, and it has to be a positive fielder to rob it. That's a 42, so a 42 for the Yankees is the center fielder. Mickey Rivers is neutral. That ball on the sinking line drive. Rivers makes a dive at it, but does not make the catch, so Gilliam is 1 for 2. Mickey Rivers made a play on the sinking line drive, but he smothered it. So Gilliam is at first, and here comes Don Drysdale. Don Drysdale here. There is no DH for the Dodgers. Drysdale was stuck in the lineup, inserted in the lineup, cleanup spot, and he's already paid off some fruit as he homered to tie the game, but then he gave up a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd by Nettles, and the Yankees retook the lead 3-1. If Drysdale goes bippity-boppity-boom again, it's a 3-3 game. Holtzman looking for revenge against his counterpart Drysdale. Here's the pitch to Double D, Don Drysdale. That's a 6, and that's going to be an 85. And Holtzman will get his revenge. 85, Drysdale takes a mighty swing, sends it to deep center field, but not deep enough. Back at the track is Rivers. He makes the catch, 2 down. Retreating back to first is Gilliam. So 2 outs. And now bring up Ron Fairley. Fairley, the right fielder, 0 for 1. He grounded to second. Gilliam will be off on contact. Healy goes through the signs. A quick nod of the head from Holtzman. The pitch to Ron Fairley. 3-1 Yankees. Top of the 4th. That's a 2. That's going to be a 76. You don't get your kicks on Route 76. What you get is a fly out to right. Gamble makes the catch, and the side is retired. Dodgers put 1 aboard, but no more. Bottom of the 4th. 3-1 Yankees. If the Yankees win, they close out the series 4-1. The Dodgers must win to stay in, as we like to say. Due up in the bottom of the 4th for the Yankees, White, Gamble, and Stanley to face Don Drysdale. Drysdale, through 3 innings, has given up 3 runs, all with 2 outs. Here's Roy White. White reaches safely. He's a right-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher, 0 through 40. The pitch to the Yankee left fielder, 55. 55. Ground ball to second. Jimmy Lefevre throws to Parker, 1 down. The modification for a pitcher only goes 0 through 50, so no modification there. And White is retired. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, 3-1 Yankees. And here comes the fro, Oscar Gamble. He flew out to left. Gamble digs in that left-hander's batter's box. The windup and the pitch from Drysdale. Double D fires in a 37. A 37, swing and a miss. He blows the fastball by him, and that's a first K for Drysdale. 2 up, 2 down, but this is where Drysdale's had the hiccups. After 2 outs, he's given up 3 runs. An RBI single by Munson and a 2-run homer by Nettles. 3-1 Yankees. Here comes Fred Chicken Stanley. Grounded to first. He's 0 for 1. The pitch to Stanley. Drysdale fires in a 31 to Stanley. And that is ball 4. So Stanley works a walk. First base not occupied, so it is a walk. So Stanley keeps the inning alive. No 1-2-3 inning. Here comes Fran Healy, the weak-hitting catcher. Actually, he's not that weak-hitting. 243, and he's had some timely hits. Let's see what Fran Healy can do against Drysdale. The pitch to Healy. Drysdale going with some soft stuff, and that's not good. That's a 13. And it's going to be a 2-0 count as first base is occupied, and Drysdale is a B-grade pitcher. So it's 2 balls, no strikes. If he does it again, it's a walk. 2-0 count. Healy with the green light. The pitch from Drysdale. That's a 2, and that's a 21. Swing and a miss. He blows a fastball by him as Drysdale comes back from the 2-0 count to strike out Healy. The walk doesn't hurt. The side is retired. We go to the top of the 5th, still 3-1 Yankees. Due up for the Dodgers as they must win to stay in. Johnson, LeJohn, and Wes Parker. Ken Holtzman back up on the bump. Warm-up tosses between innings. Has a quick word with Healy. Healy back behind the plate now. And here comes Lou B. Johnson. He was a strikeout victim of Holtzman. Holtzman struck out 4. The pitch to Lou B. Johnson. And Johnson's going to get a good look here. That's a 16. A 16 is a single, so Lou B. Johnson smacks a single to left field. So Johnson pulls the ball to left. That's a single for Johnson. Tying run comes to the plate in Don LeJohn, except he has no home run power. He will either, if he gets on, single or walk. Yankees hoping to turn 2 as Randolph and Stanley pinch the middle. The pitch to Don LeJohn. Holtzman fires in a 40. And that's a strikeout. Blows the fastball right by him. Second time LeJohn has been overpowered. And that is the 5th strikeout for Holtzman. So 1 out. Johnson still at first. And here's Wes Parker. Parker flew out to center. Again, Yankees hoping to turn 2. Healy sets the target. The pitch to Parker. That's a 95. Parker swings the stick. Floats one out to left. Roy White is there. He makes the catch. Retreating back to first is Johnson. So 2 outs. Johnson will be off on contact. And here comes the Dodger catcher, Johnny Roseboro. He, too, was a strikeout victim of Holtzman. Holtzman works quickly to Roseboro. That's a 3, and that's going to be a 51. And a 51, Roseboro makes contact. It's a bounding ball to Randolph at second, over to Chambliss, and the side is retired. So Holtzman's 1 hiccup. The blast to center by Don Drysdale. But he is now through 5, and it's still 3-1 Yankees. In the bottom of the 5th for the Yankees, the top of the order, Rivers, Randolph, and Nettles to face Don Drysdale. Okay, so Roseboro made the last out. Drysdale goes through his warm-up tosses. And here comes Mickey Rivers. Steps in the left-hander's batter's box. Make the quick. Rivers has singled and scored and stolen a base and also grounded out. He's 1 for 2. The pitch from Drysdale to Mickey Rivers, that's a 2. So we go with the blue dice, which is a 2, and that's a 22. It goes to a fielding modification. Who was the ball hit to? For the Dodgers, you need a positive fielder to rob the play. So they need the shortstop. That's a 66. And that's going to be the shortstop. So Maury Wills makes a diving stop, pops up, fires to first, and Rivers is retired. What a play by Maury Wills. Very good stretch by Parker. And they just nipped the speedy Mickey Rivers 6-3. So once again, you need a positive fielder to rob the hit. That's a 66. 59 through 73, the ball's hit to the shortstop. Maury Wills is a positive fielder, and one Yankee is retired. Dave Gardner at the ballpark here in the Bronx. Check out that wonderful channel. Had a great digital dice I listened to while setting up this game. Really fun stuff. Had someone in the Action PC community who makes golf courses and other modifications on his site. It was really, really good. So I suggest you check it out. Here comes Willie Randolph. Randolph 1 for 1. He singled, stolen a base, and scored ahead of the Nettles homer, and also had a sac bunt. 3-1 Yankees. The pitch from Drysdale to Randolph. That's a 1, and that's going to be a 90. Randolph swings the bat. Sends it to left. Gilliam going back a bit makes the catch. 2 down. So again, this is where Drysdale, I don't know if he loses concentration, but has been hurt. All 3 Yankee runs come after 2 outs. And here comes Greg Nettles, the man who gave the Yankees a lead back in the bottom of the third when it was 1-1 with a 2-run blast with 2 outs. The very next batter, Munson, got plunked. Nettles digs in tight. Drysdale doesn't like it. A very angry look on Double D. He rocks and fires to Greg Nettles. That's a 5, and that will be a 41. Swing and a miss. He blows the fastball by him. Nettles is now 1 for 3. The Yankees go down 1-2-3. That's the 3rd strikeout for Don Drysdale. We're through 5 here in the Bronx, and it's still 3-1 Yankees. Ken Holtzman back up on the bump with a 2-run lead. Due up for the Dodgers, the top of the order. Wills, Lefevre, and Gilliam. If anyone gets on, that man, Double D, Don Drysdale. Drysdale has knocked in the only run for the Dodgers with a homer. So Maury Wills, switch hitter, batting righty off the left-handed throwing Holtzman. Wills is 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and right. Holtzman picks up the sign from Healy. The pitch to Maury Wills. That's a 3. That's a 75. So Holtzman continues to deal. Maury Wills will send a fly ball to right. Gamble coming in makes the catch. 1 down. So 3 times Maury Wills has flown out. He's 0 for 3. Here comes the Dodgers' second baseman, Jimmy Lefevre. Lefevre's 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded to first. The leg kick and the pitch from Kenny Holtzman. That's a 91. Lefevre swings. Fly ball to left. Making the catch is Roy White. So 2 fly balls, 2 outs. Holtzman really doing a wonderful job keeping these Dodger batters off balance. And Jim Gilliam must get on to get the tying run to the plate in Don Drysdale. Gilliam is 1 for 2. He's grounded to third and singled. Holtzman looking for the 1-2-3 inning. Healy wiggles the fingers. A quick nod of the head by Holtzman. The windup and the pitch to Jim Gilliam. A 4, and that's a 50. A 50 for Jim Gilliam. Ground ball to second. No, to first, excuse me. Ground ball to first. Chambliss tosses to Holtzman. Holtzman steps on the bag, and the side is retired. As Gilliam goes down 3-1. He's now 1 for 3. And once again, the Dodgers go down meekly in the top of the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Yankees. Drysdale has to keep it a 2-run deficit. He will lead off the next inning. Due up for the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th with a 2-run lead, the Yankee captain Munson, then Chambliss and White. Munson has singled in a run with 2 outs and then was hit by a pitch right after Nettles hit the 2-run homer off Drysdale that gave the Yankees a 3-1 lead. No love lost between Drysdale and Munson. They glare at each other. You're waiting for the words, fight! But here's the pitch to Munson. That's a 3, and that will be a 60. A 60. Munson. 1 hopper to Wills at short. Wills fires to Parker, and the Yankee captain is retired. So 1 out. Munson goes back to the dugout, and there's still some chirping between him and Drysdale. Drysdale definitely not wishing Munson the best. And here's Chris Chambliss, first baseman, 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out to left. The pitch to Chambliss. Drysdale fires in a 56. Chambliss takes a healthy cut at it. Hard hit ball to second. Lefevre knocks it down, picks it up, tosses to Parker, 2 away. So 2 up, 2 down via the ground ball. Drysdale looking for the 1-2-3 inning. He's got to get through Roy White, who's 0 for 2. He's flown out to right and grounded to second. Roseboro sets the target, the pitch to Roy White, the Yankee left fielder. That's a 5. That is a 0-9. A 0-9 is a single. So Roy White jumps all over the Drysdale fastball with 2 outs, and he singles right back up the middle. So no 1-2-3 inning for the Yankees. A 2-out single by Roy White keeps the inning alive. And this is where Drysdale's had difficulty. He's given up 3 runs with 2 outs. And here comes Oscar Gamble, who has a home run, roll 0 through 4. The Fro is 0 for 2. He's flown out to Gilliam and left and struck out. Drysdale determined not to give up any more runs. The high leg kick and the pitch to Oscar Gamble. And that is a 0-7. And Oscar Gamble has just doubled. So Gamble hits a gap shot. That's a 0-7. Retrieving it is the center fielder. So that's a 0-7. So that's a double with 2 outs. Chambliss at third in a 0-7. Chambliss. I'm sorry, Roy White, excuse me. Roy White is a moderate runner, and he'll have to be held up at third. So second and third, as they quickly retrieve the ball and get it back into the cutoff man, who fires towards the plate, and they put the brakes on Roy White. I thought they would send him, but they don't. So second and third, and once again, 2-out trouble for Drysdale. Here comes Fred Chicken Stanley. Do you pinch hit for Stanley here, who's a solid fielder, not with range, but with the error check? He's only a 2. I think not. They're going to let Stanley, he's had some clutch hit for the Yankees. Let's see if he can do it off John Drysdale. Stanley digs in that right-hander's batter's box, one of Billy Martin's favorites, choking up on that bat. He's fearless. Drysdale, the violent windup and the pitch to Stanley. That's a 3. That's going to be a 34. Swing and a miss on the inside heat. The side is retired. This time Drysdale pitches out of the 2-out jam with the K as Stanley. White stranded at third. Gamble stranded at second. That's a squander for the Yankees. Could come back to haunt them. We go to the top of the 7th. 3-1 New York. The 76 Yankees over the 65 Dodgers. Drysdale's now struck out 4. Due up in the top of the 7th for the Dodgers. Double D, Don Drysdale. He's knocked in the only run with a homer to dead center. Then Fairley and Lou Johnson. The Dodgers, I take a quick look, have only 3 hits in this game. Again, a very anemic offense for the 65 Dodgers. Stanley makes the last out. This is the 7th inning. And Holtzman, this could be his last inning. But he might get one more inning. Let's just check real quick. Modifications to max innings pitch for a pitcher. Starter allows less than 2 innings can get one more inning. And then if it's a shutout, he can try to go. Actually, he gets one more inning as long as he doesn't give up more than 2 runs. And then you can try to pitch him in the 9th, but once he gives up a base runner, he has to come out. I believe that is the rule, the way I remember it. I'm not going to look it up. That's what we're going to go with. But the Yankees most likely will go to their bullpen. He is now, I have to remember this, he's a B-grade pitcher. We haven't used a pitching grade at all in this game yet. So it's Drysdale, and Holtzman's a B-grade pitcher. He's gone 6. It's the top of the 7th. Will they turn it over to their bullpen? That's the question, and I think they will. With a 3-1 lead and 6 outs to go to take the series 4-1, you have Dick Tidrow, who's an A-plus pitcher for 2 innings, and that's pretty damn good. And he has automatic strikeouts on 55 and 77. Then you have Sparky Lyle, who's an A-plus pitcher, but he has automatic walks on 55 and 77. So I think with a 3-1 lead, Billy Martin pats Kenny Holtzman on the back, says, "Good job, Mr. Holtzman." And here comes Dick Tidrow. So Holtzman goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run. It was earned, the home run to Drysdale, and he struck out 5 Dodgers. He can only win it. He can't lose it. And actually, they're 9 outs away. That's my faux pas. But that's it. He's given them 6 innings, and I think what they're going to actually do now, they have a lot of lefty bats. We're going to go Sparky Lyle, actually, for an inning. And then Tidrow will try to get the final 6 outs. Or we can go Grant Jackson. He doesn't have any automatic walkouts or strikes. Lyle has automatic walks on 55 and 77. And he is a lefty thrower. So it's Grant Jackson, actually. They're going to leave Lyle in the bullpen. They don't like those walks, only up 2 runs. So it's going to be Grant Jackson. And he'll try to bridge the gap to Dick Tidrow. He'll try to close out the game. So Tidrow's ready. And it'll be Grant Jackson. So Holtzman does his job, 6 innings, and he leaves with a 3-1 lead. His one hiccup, a home run to Don Drysdale. And now they turn it over to Grant Jackson. Jackson, an A-plus pitcher at home for 2 innings, but he's a lefty. They really just want to get the ball to Dick Tidrow for 6 outs, because Tidrow has those automatic strikeouts. So here we go. It will be Drysdale, Fairley, and Johnson. Drysdale, 1 for 2. He has homered and flown out to deep center. Drysdale digs in. Here's the pitch from the lefty, Grant Jackson. That's a 2. That is a 76. Drysdale takes a mighty cut. Sends it out to right. Going back, Gamble. He makes the catch in front of the wall. 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Drysdale now 1 for 3. He's taking his hacks, though. So 1 out, and it's Ron Fairley. Fairley, the right fielder, 0 for 2. He's grounded to second and flown out to Gamble and right. Jackson picks up the sign from Healy. He rocks and deals to Fairley. And that's going to be a 0-5 to Fairley. A double, but it's a derivative of 5. Jackson, an A-plus pitcher. That's why you bring him in. And the double turns into a walk. And since it's a walk, No one's at first. It stays a walk. So a one-out walk to Ron Fairley. Tying run comes to the plate. And Lou B. Johnson. Johnson, the center fielder for the Dodgers, 1 for 2. He struck out and singled. Fairley not stolen base chance, 83. But Healy has a -14 arm. He's not going anywhere. Jackson and the Yankees hoping for the double play ball as Randolph and Stanley pinch the middle. Here's the pitch to Lou B. Johnson from Grant Jackson. That's a 3. That's going to be a 36. A 36. Swing and a miss. So they're 2 down now. Nurse Teresa's entered the booth. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. We have a close game here. 3-1. I'm almost done.
I'm just curious.
Okay.
What inning are you in?
We're in the top of the 7th. The Yankees lead 3-1.
Okay.
So, how goes your schoolwork?
It goes.
Excellent.
It goes.
I love you.
I love you too.
And you know what's coming next.
I know. Get out.
Get out. I will be with you shortly. I love you, honey.
I love you.
Let's
too.
have a kiss
that
and
is
make.
all done in good humor.
Yes,
though.
it is. Let's kiss and make everyone sick in the chat. Here we go. All right, here we go. And Nurse Teresa now leaves the booth.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Shut the door. There we go. All right. All right, 2 outs. Tying run comes to the plate. And Don LeJohn, who was struck out twice. And now I think what we have to do here with Fairley at first and 2 outs, the Dodgers have to go to their bench down 2. And we're going to go to our third string catcher, Hector Valley, who in probably limited plate appearances hit .308. And against lefties, reaches base safely 0 through 39. So they're looking. Hector Valley grabs a bat. And we can move Gilliam to third. Al Ferreira can play left. All right, we're going to wait on that. Oh, we can put Kennedy at third. All right, but definitely Hector Valley's going to pitch hit for Don LeJohn. The Don LeJohn experiment didn't go too well. He was 0 for 2. He didn't make contact. Dave Gardner asks, any tongue? No. When we do baseball, we're very family-oriented. It was a nice, quick smack on the lips. Chat with Al, we're going to try to get some tongue. Anyway, that's a joke. But I'm serious. All right, so Don LeJohn is out. And here comes Hector Valley to pinch hit for LeJohn. So the pinch hitter, Valley. Just want to get it to Parker here. 2 outs. Fairley at first. Valley the tying run at the plate, but he has no home run power against righties or lefties. Grant Jackson trying to end the threat here and now. Here's the pitch to Hector Valley. Reaches safely 0 through 39. That's a 2, and that's not going to do it. That's a 53, and that is a Valley swings. Ground ball to second. Randolph. Oh, left-handed pitcher. Sorry. Ground ball to first. Chambliss takes it to the bag unassisted, and the side is retired. So Valley grounds out to first. The Dodgers once again fail to score. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Yankees. So Grant Jackson does his job. Valley is out of the game. We need a third baseman. And I think what we're going to do, I think we'll just slide Gilliam from Gilliam is in left. I think we'll just slide him to third. Or Trzecki could play third. Trzeski. E5, but he's a positive fielder. Against lefties, 0 through 34. I think that's what we'll do. So Dick Trzeski gets his first, I think this is his first appearance in the series. So he'll come in after Valley pinch hits for LeJohn and grounds out to first. So it's Trzeski, who would go on to play with the Tigers in 68 and win a World Series ring with them. So he has a ring with the 65 Dodgers and the 68 Tigers. Maybe a few more I don't know of, but those are the two that I'm quite sure he has, unless it's a different Trzeski. And he's going to play third base. Error chance is a 5, but he's a positive fielder, so he can rob a hit, and he's a moderate base runner. All right, so Trzeski at third. And Drysdale has given up 3 runs, so this is his final inning he can pitch. Oh, no, this is the bottom of the 7th, excuse me. He can pitch 1 more inning as long as he doesn't give up 5 runs in total. All right, so Drysdale back up on the mound. He'll face Healy, Rivers, and Randolph. Healy 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. The pitch from Drysdale to Fran Healy. 5. That is a 68 to Fran Healy. Healy swings. Fly ball to right. That's out number 1 as Fairley makes the catch. 1 down. Top of the order, Mickey Rivers. Rivers 1 for 3. He singled, stole a base, and scored a run on the 2-out single by Munson. And he's grounded out twice. 3-1 lead for the Yankees, bottom of the 7th. The pitch from Drysdale to Mick the Quick. That's a 5, and that's going to be an 80. Rivers choking up on the bat. He takes a hack at it. Bloops one to right. Again, coming in this time is Fairley, and he makes the catch. So Fairley's been busy out in right field. Rivers now 1 for 4. 2 outs, base is empty, and this is where Drysdale has had his hiccups. He's given up all 3 runs with 2 outs, an RBI single to Munson and a 2-run homer to Nettles. Randolph, sack bunt, a single, stole a base, scored a run, and he flew out to left, so he's 1 for 2. Roseboro sets the target, the pitch to Willie Randolph. That's a 6, and that is a 10. Willie Randolph, that's a single, but Drysdale is an A-plus pitcher after 2 times through the lineup, and this is definitely more than 2 times through the lineup. So a single turns into a strikeout, and the side is retired. That's where the pitching grade comes into play. We've had a couple of pitching grades now, and that is Drysdale's 5th K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No runs scored for the Yankees. We go to the top of the 8th, still 3-1 New York. Now the Yankees are only 6 outs away from taking the series 4-1. They lead the series 3-1. The Dodgers must win to stay in. So Drysdale can pitch 1 more inning. And then again, because he's given up less, I can't remember if it's a shutout, but we're going to go with he gives up less than 2 runs. He can pitch the 9th, which is accurate on that because he can go 8. So Grant Jackson, do they turn it over to Dick Tidrow? I'm going to say no, because Grant Jackson's a lefty, and he's going to face the lefty Parker. So it's Parker, Roseboro, and Maury Wills. So we're going to let him face Wes Parker. Parker's 0 for 2. He's flown out twice. The pitch to Parker from Grant Jackson. That's a 5, and that's a 94. Jackson fires one in. Parker swings the stick. He'll fly out to left. Making the catch is Roy White. 1 down. Here in the top of the 8th. Another fly out for Parker. He's now 0 for 3. And here's Johnny Roseboro. Roseboro 0 for 2. Lefties, he only reaches safely 0 through 19. And I think we got to go to Jeff Torborg here, regardless of the -8 arm. Down 2 and only 5 outs away from elimination. The Dodgers will go to their bench. Torborg 0 through 25. He does have a homer on 0-0 and a 0-1. But he's a +6 arm, but you can't worry about that right now. Al Ferreira. No, we're going to go Jeff Torborg. So Jeff Torborg's going to pinch hit for Johnny Roseboro. Again, the Dodgers 5 outs away from elimination. So Roseboro is out. Torborg will be coming in, and he'll stay in to catch, as we now have used all 3 of our catchers. So it's Torborg. Will do the catching. He's an error chance 3, which is 1 worse than Roseboro. And he's a horrible arm. He's a +6, and he's slow. So Torborg, with 1 out, needs to get on base to bring the tying run to the plate, and Maury Wills. Jackson will continue to pitch because Torborg only reaches 0 through 25 against lefties. Against righties, 0 through 37. Grant Jackson picks up the sign from Fran Healy. The pitch to the pinch hitter, Jeff Torborg. That's a 5, and that's an 86. So Grant Jackson fires one in. Torborg swings, sends it to center. He got under it. Mickey Rivers makes the catch. 2 down. So Grant Jackson is doing his job. Here's Maury Wills. Wills against lefties reaches safely 0 through 34. Against righties, 0 through 30. Dick Tidrow ready in the pen for the 4-out save. And Billy Martin will signal for the right-handed pitcher. Grant Jackson's day is done. He did a marvelous job for the 76 Yankees. He goes 1 2/3, giving up no runs and striking out 1. And here comes Dick Tidrow for the 4-out save, at least if you're Billy Martin and the Yankees and their fans. And he's been very good in this series, Dick Tidrow. Yankees have a really fun bullpen in this game. So Dick Tidrow. And of course, as you know, I'm a big Billy Martin fan. Always wanted to manage the Red Sox. So here's Dick Tidrow going for the 4-out save. 2 outs, top of the order, Maury Wills. Tidrow, A+ pitcher, and that's what you want. Maury Wills, 0 for 3, 3 flyouts. He needs to get on to bring the tying run to the plate. Tidrow has a word with Healy. Healy back behind the plate, sets the target. The pitch to Maury Wills. That is a 5, and that's a 0-7. And just like that, Maury Wills smashes the fastball to center. And now Wills is on first with 2 outs. So Maury Wills now 1 for 4. Wills definitely a base-stealing threat. 74, but Healy has a -14 arm, so he's not going anywhere. Tying run comes to plate, and Jimmy Lefevre, he has no home run. Well, he needs a 0-0, and that would be changed into, with the A+, would be a walk, so he can't hit a homer off Tidrow. But he needs to move the line, as they say. Wills takes his lead at first. Tidrow looking for the 3rd and final out here in the top of the 8th to keep it a 3-1 lead for the Yankees. The windup and the pitch to Jimmy Lefevre. That is a 4. That's a 0-5. Here come the Dodgers. A 0-5 would be a single, but against an A+ pitcher, you know what that is? Swing and a miss. Dick Tidrow blows the fastball by Jimmy Lefevre. The Yankees maintain their 2-run lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th. So that's why you bring in the A+ pitcher. God, I love those pitching grades. Regardless of who, you play as both teams, it's kind of fun. Bottom of the 8th, Yankees want to build on that 2-run lead, 3-1. The Bronx Bombers, Tidrow, and the Yankees 3 outs away from taking the series 4-1. Wait a second. I screwed up there. No, Jimmy Lefevre. It was Jimmy Lefevre. All right, it was Jimmy Lefevre. I got mixed up. Don Drysdale bats 4th. Lefevre bats 2nd. Yeah, Jimmy Lefevre. All right, so Drysdale back up on the bump. Bottom of the 8th, he can go 8. And as long as he's given up 3 runs, so actually he cannot go in the 9th. Let's double check that again. Starter allows 2 or less runs. Yep, so he's done after this inning. And you're going to keep him in the game because you want his bat in that top of the 9th. Now, if they tie it or go ahead, he cannot pitch. But he can hit one more time, and he does come up 2nd in the top of the 9th. So Drysdale faces Nettles. Nettles 1 for 3. He grounded out, hit a 2-run homer to give the Yankees a 3-1 lead when it was knotted at 1 in the bottom of 3rd. Then he struck out. Drysdale has to keep it a 2-run deficit. Here's the pitch to Nettles. That's a 1. That's going to be a 43. Swing and a miss. High heat, Nettles chased. So Drysdale has struck out Nettles twice, but Nettles will probably have the final laugh with that 2-run homer. It looks like the game-winning homer. Drysdale's now struck out 6. 1, 2, yep, 6. So 1 out, bottom of the 8th. 3-1 Yankees, and here's Thurman Munson. Munson singled in a run with 2 outs, and then after the Nettles homer, got hit in the back with a fastball by Drysdale. And he's grounded out to short, so he's 1 for 2. Been on base twice. The pitch to the Yankee captain from Don Drysdale, that's a 3, and that's going to be a 95. Munson sends the ball to left. Gilliam will make the catch, 2 down. As we have, shucks, Dodgers in the chat. Is the comment. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I will not try, but thank you for joining us. So 2 outs, base is empty. Here comes Chris Chambliss. The Yankees have scored all 3 runs with 2 outs. Chambliss is 0 for 3. Drysdale wants to make quick work of the Yankee first baseman in a 1-2-3 inning. Here's the pitch to Chambliss. Drysdale. That's a 25. So it's a modification. 25 is a single. Drysdale he's an A-grade pitcher right now, as he, after 2 times through the lineup, gets stronger. So a single turns into a walk. So again, no 1-2-3 inning, and this is where Drysdale struggled. Even though he's only given up 3 runs, it's been with 2 outs. And you don't want to take Drysdale out of the game because he's hitting. And he's knocked in the only run with a homer. Here comes Roy White. White's 1 for 2 off Drysdale. He's flown out, grounded out, and singled. Chambliss takes his lead. Drysdale pays no attention to him. The leg kick and the pitch to Roy White. That's a 5. This will end the inning. That's a 51. Ground ball to first. Parker has it. Waves off Drysdale. Takes it to the bag himself, and the side is retired. Yankees fail to score in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. Dick Tidrow and the Yankees 3 outs away from taking the series 4-1. The Dodgers need to come back to send it back to the West Coast. Defense changes. Let's look to see. Gamble's an E5 in right. Pinella's an E5. Otto Velez is an E5. Maddox is an E3, but his range is poor. We're going to stick with Oscar Gamble. We're going to stick with Oscar Gamble in right. So it's Dick Tidrow back up on the bump. This is last call. Last call for alcohol. At 2, you are through. Yankees up 3-1. It'll be Gilliam, Drysdale, and Fairley. If they tie the game, Drysdale's out because he's given up more than 2 runs, cannot pitch the extra inning. He's gone 8. He looks like he's the tough luck loser, down 3-1. Here is Jim Gilliam against Dick Tidrow. And against right-handed pitching, Gilliam reaches safely 0 through 34. Tidrow and the Yankees 3 outs away from victory. The pitch to Gilliam. Tidrow. That is a 38. 38, swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. Yankees 2 outs away. 2 outs away. And that's Tidrow's second strikeout as he struck out Lefevre to end the top of the 8th. And here comes Don Drysdale. Look at the card here. Drysdale, 1 for 3. He homered to tie the game in the top of the 2nd. That was short-lived. Bottom of the 3rd, Nettles hit a 2-run homer off Drysdale. 3-1 Yankees. That's how we stand. And the Yankees 2 outs away from victory. He's flown out deep twice. Tidrow looks in at Healy. The pitcher, Double D, Don Drysdale. That's a 3, and Drysdale will get a hit. That's a 17. So Drysdale singles as he rips the fastball. That's a line shot to left as Drysdale pulls the ball. So Drysdale 2 for 4. He has been the best Dodger hitter in this series. If you're just joining us, he DH'd in New York. He pitched this game. We went without the DH and went with Drysdale to hit. So Drysdale's at first. His card will stay up here. Actually, we can put it down here because he can't pitch even if we tie it. So here's Ron Fairley. Fairley needs a 0-0, but that won't be a homer because Tidrow's a A+. Double play ball ends it. Dodger fans holding their breath here at the stadium, listening on the radio, watching on TV, and back in L.A. Tidrow, the leg kick and the pitch to Ron Fairley. That is a 1, and that's a 50. A 50 is a ground ball to first, and that would be a double play ball, but I think that's going to turn into a strikeout, taking away the double play. So a ground out, A+, swing and a miss. Another K for Tidrow. Would have been a double play ball that ended the game, but instead it's a strikeout. Tidrow now has 3 strikeouts, and the Yankees 1 out away from taking the series 4-1 to the joy of Bleacher Bums Gaming, Sports Time Machine, and many, many other Yankee fans that support the channel. It's up to Lou B. Johnson. Johnson has struck out, singled, and struck out. Johnson reaches safely 0 through 31. He needs to move the line. And then there'll be a pinch hitter for Trzeski. All right. Drysdale at first takes his lead. Tidrow nods his head, arms down to his chest. The leg kick and the pitch to Lou B. Johnson. That's a 2. That's a 35. Swing and a miss. A strikeout stays a strikeout. Tidrow strikes out the side. The Yankees take the series 4-1 with a 3-1 victory over the Dodgers in Game 5 in New York. So a 3-1 win for the Yankees as they celebrate here in the Bronx. Tidrow gets the save. He goes an inning and a third. He struck out 4. Gives up no runs. Yankees strike out 10 in total. Holtzman struck out 5. Jackson struck out 1. And Tidrow struck out 4. So Tidrow the save. Kenny Holtzman the winning pitcher. Billy Martin rejoices on the field with his team. Don Drysdale, once again, a tough luck loser. Drysdale went 8 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, and struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He struck out 6. Yankees had clutch hitting with a 2-out single in the bottom of the first by Munson that gave them a 1-0 lead. Dodgers would tie it on a solo blast by Don Drysdale in the top of the second. The tie game only lasted to the bottom of the third. Then once again with 2 outs, Drysdale got into a hiccup And Nettles crashed a 2-run homer. Gives the Yankees the lead and the win, 3-1. So it's a 3-1 victory for the Yankees. They take the series. That was a great game. Yanks take the series. Yanks win series 4-1. Well, there you have it. Pine Tar Baseball. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you to, we're going to say Nico in the chat. Don't know how to pronounce your name. Dave Gardner. Check out his wonderful YouTube channel. And hockeytournaments.com and Digital to Dice. Beardson007, Philip Reynolds, check out his channel, and Roger Ward. So the Yankees win 3-1 in a pitcher's duel. Drysdale takes the loss but homers, and we're going to probably look up his stats. He was the best offensive threat for the Dodgers of 1965. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Pine Tar Baseball. It's a fun game. Check it out. Stay safe, be smart. We'll get through this coronavirus together. Love you all. God bless. You know what's coming, folks. Peace!